Did Toto Wolff just call Christian Horner a liar? Or did he call him stupid? The Mercedes team boss has suggested that Horner double-check the numbers in a brutal rebuttal to the Red Bull chief's claim that they've recruited 220 employees from other Formula One teams. The Mercedes-Red Bull rivalry is still alive and kicking, and we have front-row seats to their most recent clash in today's video. When it was announced earlier this month that design legend Adrian Newey will be leaving Red Bull in 2025, McLaren CEO Zak Brown predicted that more departures would follow. Brown revealed that McLaren has seen an increase in applications from Red Bull employees recently. When asked about it, Toto Wolff agreed with Brown's assessment. But Horner responded to those comments by stating that Red Bull's Powertrains division has attracted 220 members from Mercedes' engine department. Speaking after the race at Imola, the tension between the two escalated further, as Toto insisted that turnover is inevitable and that Horner had exaggerated the actual number. When asked if he was concerned about Horner's claim that people were switching to Red Bull, Wolff said, "You've got to work on the maths. 19 engineers, and so, whatever those numbers are, I think there is a natural fluctuation between teams that come and go, which is completely normal. We have an engine department that is as good as it can be, with a top leadership. There is not a millimetre in HPP that should be different in terms of organisational setup, in terms of the people that works there that I'm lucky to interact with. It's a perfect organisation. They have delivered for a long time. Since 2014, we have been the benchmark, with maybe another engine the benchmark that hasn't changed. I really can't wait for 2026 and the new regulations to come and see the different levels of performance of the power unit. Ferrari has hired Loic Serra and Jerome D'Ambrosio from Mercedes, with their roles starting in October. Wolff, meanwhile, mentioned that Mercedes is also bringing in new talent from other places. He hinted that the team is entering a new era as they work to address their challenges under the current rule set. "Yeah, if I look at 2 years ago, this was horrendous," Wolff conceded. "Yeah, I'm not particularly proud or happy of the time from back in the day to today. We could have done things differently and better, spotted things earlier and optimised in the organisation, and we didn't. Where we are at the moment in this direction is correct." Mercedes has been struggling since F1 introduced the ground effect regulation changes in 2022. Despite Toto Wolff's repeated claims that Mercedes would stage a comeback, the Silver Arrows have yet to close the gap to the front. But following the recent race in Imola, Wolff made another promise, this time with greater conviction. Wolff said, "The small step forward we took in Imola was encouraging. The team has worked incredibly hard to bring our recent updates to the track, and it was a clear performance gain. We have a clear direction and developments in the pipeline. We have a more solid platform to build on now, and we are confident that in time we can get ourselves into the pack ahead." The Austrian boss sounds confident about Mercedes' upcoming developments. Despite ongoing setbacks, including the loss of Lewis Hamilton, the team is fully committed to returning to the top. However, the 52-year-old is well aware of the gap between them and the front-runners. Mercedes still has a lot of ground to cover to catch up to Red Bull, who now face increasing competition from Ferrari and McLaren. Despite McLaren being a customer team of Mercedes, Wolff has acknowledged the Woking-based outfit's improvements since the start of the 2023 season. They showcased strong performance by winning the Miami Grand Prix with Lando Norris and following up with a runner-up result at Imola. McLaren has made a lot of progress this season, while Mercedes appears to be lagging behind. But Toto Wolff isn't jealous of his British rival's progress. Quite the opposite, actually. He sees it as a goal for Mercedes to achieve improvements of their own. McLaren has also made it clear that the issue lies not with Mercedes engines, but with the performance of the Brackley-based team's car. Despite the embarrassment of having a customer team perform better, Wolff holds nothing but respect for McLaren. "Why I love this sport is that the stopwatch never lies and they have done a good job, and we have to have respect from how they've done things. So I'm not looking at that with some envy. On the contrary, I'm looking at that and saying, this is what we need to achieve, because they have been able to do that. They changed the concept late in the winter, I believe, of their car and bit their time until they brought that upgrade. Since then, they have been adding performance. And I think this is where we are trying to get to a stable platform where we say, okay, this is what we want from the car, and then the development machine just runs with it. We have been zigzagging a little bit of what we thought we need to have the performance. But one thing in Formula One you can't buy, and that is time. Once you got it wrong, you're on the back foot, and then it's very difficult to leapfrog. Lewis Hamilton acknowledges that Mercedes has not performed at their best recently, but is optimistic about their progress, saying that they have found their North Star. The team has been making updates, including scrapping the zero-pod concept last year and redesigning various aspects of this year's W15, such as the side pods, nose, rear suspension, and cockpit positioning, among other changes. After introducing new parts to the W15 in Miami and Imola, Hamilton feels that Mercedes is heading in the right direction. He believes they've identified something to pursue in the car's development. "There's a long way to go. I'm just really excited for the developments that are coming," he said. "We had a step in the last race and we have a step this weekend, and there's more in the pipeline. I feel like we have found more of a North Star in what we need to do and change. It just takes time. But the energy in the team is amazing. They are so resilient in this team. They are continuing to push even though we have been knocked down quite a few times. We are going to continue to keep our heads down and stay focused and do the best job we can each weekend." Hamilton finished the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in 6th place, while George Russell secured 7th with the fastest lap of the race. One positive aspect for Mercedes is their confidence that their issues do not originate from the power unit. Hamilton added that, "I think we've always known that the engine is not the problem. The engine is great. I think the guys continue to do an amazing job in terms of developing that technology. With the hybrid area, we have been right at the top in terms of our development rate and performance and reliability. So that hasn't ever been an issue. So anyone buying our engines knows what they're getting. But we know on the car side we haven't done the best of jobs in the last couple of years, and we're working as hard as we can to rectify that." In other news, Carlos Sainz has been ruled out of contention for the second Mercedes seat, at least for now. As a free agent on the driver market for 2025, following Ferrari's decision to sign Lewis Hamilton for next season, Sainz finds himself on the sidelines and in need of a new seat. Sainz is currently on the lookout for a seat next year, and his chances of landing a competitive one are higher than usual. This is because many driver contracts are up for renewal or renegotiation for the upcoming season. As the Monaco Grand Prix weekend approaches, one potential opportunity has closed for Sainz. Mercedes is no longer an option for him, at least not under his current conditions. Sainz has been eager to secure a deal with the Silver Arrows, but Mercedes has decided to wait and see if Max Verstappen chooses to make a dramatic move from Red Bull, leading to a deadlock in their talks. As Mercedes delays making any immediate decisions, the focus shifts back to their young protégé Kimi Antonelli. The Formula 2 driver is on track to fulfill all the requirements for an F1 super license by August of this year. If the team cannot attract Verstappen from Red Bull, which appears increasingly unlikely given the Dutch driver's recent remarks, Antonelli could become a possibility for Mercedes. So, will Kimi Antonelli be ready if his number does get called up next season? Tell us in the comments section down below, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.